Everybody, Vilisink back again with Raid Shadow Legends. In this video, because the Bat Eater comp has been built, one champion got freed up. I'm just going to get rid of some red dots for a second. And we're going to have some fun with them. But on the shard front, we did say 200 shards for 200 subs. We're getting there. I know it's 2x and 10x, or not, sorry, 2x and the guaranteed for the little dwarf, but I need to get to that 200 mark, otherwise I'm just gonna, I'll just have to kind of build them up again. So I'm gonna wait for 200, or do a massive shard pool. But the champion that we're going to mess around with, they got freed up. Also, I'll be rebuilding Lydia soon. Because I took pieces off of her, I might just go for like a high accuracy perception. I'll do a few builds with her, I think, in the near future. But the champion that got freed up that I want to have some fun with is this champion here, Occult Brawler. Now the idea with this particular build is we want to just go for damage. That's it. We want to get up to 70% crit rate because we're going to have Archmage giving us a 30% crit rate buff. It'll be buffing our crit damage as well. We're going to be taking in increased attack. We're going to be taking in decreased defense and weaken. So the stats we have here: 4.2k attack, speed irrelevant, 70% crit rate, but we're getting the buff to make it 100%, 293 crit damage. And the masteries we changed up. So we have crit rate, crit damage, increased damage to targets with less than 40% HP, 6% if it's more HP, more damage in other areas. We've got flawless execution tier 6, like guaranteed damage, the consistent damage rather than helmet smasher. We're going to be pairing him in a team with Mossbeard. We're going to be stunning enemies as well. We're also looking to get more damage from the first and everybody. This is kind of irrelevant in a way, but I had to come down this side, so I couldn't go for this one here, which would have been quite cool. I would have missed this. I would have had to then come down and whatnot. Retribution, other masteries are kind of irrelevant. And we're going to have some fun with him. And that's pretty much it. So, because he is green affinity, we're going to go in and we're just going to see the damage we can get. We lack a increased attack buff for this particular team, but I'm hoping Lydia lands at least decreased defense and weaken on one person. She should still have over 250 accuracy. And let's see how much damage we can get from Brawler. So we're going to buff up first of all. We're then going to use the A2. So Spirit Host or Hylia are going to be getting smashed first. We're going to be stunning people, hopefully not killing them though, because Nethril is quite a damage-filled type of person. So we've got more 12% damage with extra debuffs, crit rate buff, crit damage buff. We've got stun, decreased defense and weaken. We've basically got everything we need to master the masteries. So we've 25% more damage from the weaken, decreased defense is going to be good. The stun gives us 12% more, the debuffs give us 12% more. So we'll hit his A2, which is really underrated. Now he heals by 30% of what he inflicts, is quite irrelevant. If he's under one or more debuff, you can still get pretty respectable damage. So let's target Spirit Host and 195,520, which is not that bad. So let's just go auto for a second and see what he does without some debuffs if they're still alive. So he's 44, so an average hit if you don't have that buffs on him. Gut Tuck is not booked, so we're not going to be able to recycle our moves quicker. We don't have a Kaimar. So let's see. So we're buffing up. We're going to go decrease defense and weaken again. We're going to add on the damage. Then I'm going to stun some people to ensure we get that damage. And see what the A2 can give us. So this time, everybody, we seem to have a lot more damage on people. So let's go Hyria this time. So a lot lower. So we'll just, what I want to do is, we did get quite high numbers before. So let's take, so we're losing 12%. If you take out this champion here and we throw in, you can throw in, where is she? Just purely for the increased attack. We're going to take an Arbiter for that attack buff. Like 4,500 attack. So let's see how it gets on. So let's speed up, increase the attack. We're then going to get all the damage that we need. We're then going to hopefully just Spirit Host and Hyria. You're getting it. We lose 12% damage, but we hopefully we gain more damage from the increased attack. See how it works out. 209,000, almost 210,000 damage, which is nice. Let's see if we can get anything quite fantastic on his A1. Although this is a build realistically for fun. It's not a build that you're going to do unless you're just looking to kind of mess around. Have some fun with Brawler. He's a far better poisoner. Although he can smack if you have the appropriate gear. When for him, you could even try Helm Smasher. Try to get yourself some sick digits as far as that's concerned. Because without the crit rate, he does hit quite low. We're going to get people weakened up in just a second. So a Brawler is under 1 debuff. So if the champion is under 1 or more debuffs, the attack will ignore 30% of enemy defense. They're stunned, decreased defense and weaken. We've got increased attack in all the buffs, so we're hitting Spirit Host. 221,000 damage. Let's just continue on. And let's see how he... It's a boss, so let's see if he does like respectable damage against the boss. He does need setup, just like we did with Roric Wormbane. And we had a little bit of fun. We had 200k plus from him. Everything is quite standard. Let's see. We need to just cycle things and get a fresh set of... So he has all his buffs, 75,000 give or take. Still, 75k is not the worst hit. See if we can get decreased defense and weaken. You can't stun him. You can ignore 30% defense, 86,000. So we're going to be victorious in this one. Depending on how long it takes, I may just exit. Because we'll be taking Gerp Tuck. We can gain way more damage from the debuffs we put on ourselves. And the question is, do we remove Arbiter for that, or do we mix it up and we can just take in Ghostborn? We do lose the weaken, but we gain extra damage from the debuffs we place on ourselves, so it's kind of like a two-edged sword. So at 3 minutes 15, we're not going to be keeping the item there, so let's go to edit team for a second. So we've got Brawler. We definitely Need this champion to make sure we get to 100%. Only if Archmage was in a stun set, it would be way better. We take in a stun champion. Make sure we get that extra damage. We have Gerp, Tuck, and Mossbeard. We're going to need him because we're placing poisons on ourselves. So we lose. Yeah, so we're going to have to replace her, I'm afraid. We've got the CC. So let's go Ghostborn. And the only thing we lose is a weaken. But hopefully, the damage is still quite cool with the rest of what we're looking for. So buff up again, 100% crit rate. And you didn't do your A2, Ghostborn. You're not looking good as part of the teammate, so let's try that again. This time I want to see your A3, sorry. The unresistible decreased defense, we're buffing up. Decreased defense, we do have increased attack. So that is quite cool. So if we check the buffs we've got, it's still very cool. So we had 293 crit damage, 323 crit damage. It's about 7k attack with perfect crit rate is kind of what we're looking at now. I want to get more damage due to this poisons. We're going to get more damage due to the stuns. We are just missing a weaken, so we're going to go A2. We're just going to pick someone and we're going to see if it matches. 265,545. So let's slap and see if we can get a cycle back on the next wave. So we're buffed up. We do have a decreased defense. So let's see if we can cycle some abilities real soon. So 73 is not the worst. $73,000 again. It's not the worst by any means. Decreased defense. We've got some poisons. So we have. We're just going to pause it here for a second. Can we stun anybody? It's irrelevant that she's got block damage. It makes no difference whatsoever. We are going to try and stun her. It's a shame. Block damage will kind of negate the damage here. So we'll come back in with the same composition. See if we can beat 265. So, unresistible decreased defense. More damage from there. The only thing I think we need is one more slot for somebody to put weaken. Unless we have like a stun set Lydia. So we can get decreased defense, weaken, and some stuns. Now that would be pretty badass. So we have decreased defense. We do have the stun. We do have 4 debuffs. We will go and slap this person right here. 207,000 damage. Now go to wave 2 and see if we can cycle through. So we're going to keep that there. We're going to do a little bit of damage. We are going to also, we don't need to remove anything. So we're losing damage from the stun, but we can get everything else. So as A2, we get some damage from the, we'll ignore 30% of our defense. And get 12% damage for CCing. It's not fantastic without a setup. So let's buff up. We're 1 turn away from where we need to be with Ghostborn. See if we can get another nice hit. If you can get him set up properly. So decrease defense. Might kill some of them, to be quite fair. We do need to try and stop. If she goes to block damage again, we may just pick a different. So let's buff up. I think if she's okay. What we'll do is we're just going to come back, and I think maybe choose a different difficulty and see how he does on a void stage. So neutral affinity, let's try it here. It's the same composition, same setup. Let's see if we can damage Faceless before he damages us. So, decrease defense, triple debuffs. I want to stun your ass to get more damage. A2 on Faceless. 192,716. I'll take it. I'll get some kills from him. We'll change up the team a little bit, so we go 192,000. What happens if we decide to remove, so we've got 265 on the other affinity. If we take Lydia in, decrease defense and weaken, which means we can get rid of him, but we lose the attack, so we still have the stuns, which I think is quite good, so let's keep a hold of that. We do need Archmage. Even if we had the perfect crit rate, we would still take Archmage to buff the crit damage. So, increased attack while we're here. I'm going to throw all that buffs up. I'm going to go A2. So, yeah, we did get decreased defense and weaken. All the buffs that we need, including stuns. So times 1 speed. This is all the information here. So we've got attack boost, crit rate boost, crit damage boost. We have the debuff, which means we're ignoring 30% of the defense. 202,000 damage. Still, it is not that bad. If you want to make this an actual team, what you do is you just throw Siren. Not necessarily for the waves, but he does give a weaken, which is very nice. We could try Ghostborn Seer. We would need a CC. Give us one more hit before we move on. Come on, one more hit. Come on, OB, slap. 128,000. Fantastic. So why don't we just watch this and see, can they get to the dragon? Or can they kill the dragon? We've got stuns, got decreased defenses, and we've got some weakens. He's now, well, he was ignoring defense. As soon as he placed the extra debuff on himself, his passive changed. He's no longer ignoring 30% defense, but 130,000 damage. Put him in Savage. I guarantee you're going to get Savage or Helm Smasher. I promise you're going to get about 300,000 easy. It just has to be done. I guarantee that's what you're going to get. So let's see how we go on, because we're not going to die. We'll have Arbiter. We have some damage from OBS. Hopefully it's enough. Nethril is quite good. I'm not going to manual it. But he will be throwing up 3 poisons at a time when he uses his A1. Because I don't see us losing at all. So we'll just cut back to the end of the video. There we go, guys. We're about to kill this dragon. There has been some really nice damage from Brawler. Even Nethril doing over 100k. Occult Brawler hitting 205,000 damage against the dragon. Quite nice. He had some low hits, to be expected. And the dragon is dead. So 1.666 million damage. I think the 666 is quite appropriate for what we're doing. Nethril, obviously, a little bit more damage. So did we come in with the other team? So if we come in, is we can take in, you can actually take in like a ninja if you want to mess around with Brawler. So let's just do one cool team, and then we'll call it quits from there. So we need, realistically, we need him to stay. We need Nethril to stay as well. The increased attack needs to stay. Because I think if we have the poisons, the decreased defense, it's a shame. It's a shame. I think what we're going to do is we're going to just take Ghostborn back. We're just going to try and maximize it with the extra damage from the debuffs. We're going to see what happens. Then we're going to call it quits. And hopefully you've enjoyed this very, very different style video as far as damage from somebody known as a fantastic poisoner, which he is. But people fail to realise he actually does a respectable pile of damage as well. So we've got all the debuffs, we've got the stuns, decreased defense, no weaken. But we have increased attack to hopefully compensate for it. So this champion is stunned there, 185. So it's not as high as when we take in the weaken. But it's still extremely cool, so we'll let him go and then we'll see how far we get. With Nethril, I think we may be getting respectively far. But we'll see. Unless you set him up, his hits are going to be maybe normal. 50, 70k, so forth. But if you can get the debuffs on him, if you can try Savage Gear with Helm Smasher, I'm pretty sure you can do something way, way better. 70k damage is still a pretty decent hit. For no setup, Gurktuk is gone, so the team is going to fall apart. We have stuns, but we're losing damage as far as the extra poisons. So we'll end it there. But that's the video for today, or one of the videos for today. I wanted to do that for a long time. Take out Occult Brawler. I've seen other people in the past kind of do something similar. They did have Savage Gear. They did have Helm Smasher, like further on accounts into what I have. But it was fun, Occult Brawler can smack, he can poison, but he also knows how to pack a punch, guys. So let me know what you thought in the comments section. Stay safe, keep on raiding, I'll see you soon.